Have you ever wondered if something as simple as throwing it down the toilet could change your life forever? Could this small, symbolic act actually break the chains of debt, poverty, and bad luck that have been haunting you? Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that this idea comes from ancient Buddhist teachings, and for centuries, people have believed that letting go of material or symbolic attachments could open the floodgates to wealth, prosperity, and happiness. Today, we're diving deep into this mysterious practice, unraveling the spiritual and psychological meaning behind it, and exploring why this ritual could be the very thing to bring you the abundance you seek. 1. Understanding the symbolism of throwing it down the toilet. Let's get one thing clear from the start. The idea of throwing something down the toilet is not about the literal action, but rather, it's a powerful metaphor within Buddhist philosophy. In Buddhist teachings, the toilet is seen as a vessel of disposal, a place where waste goes, never to return. When we apply this metaphor to life, it symbolizes letting go of negativity, harmful attachments, and toxic influences that block the flow of good fortune. Debt, poverty, and bad luck are often tied to deep-rooted emotional and mental patterns. And by throwing it down the toilet, you are symbolically flushing away the negativity that contributes to those patterns. This practice is about releasing the mental blocks, limiting beliefs, and emotional baggage that keep you stuck in cycles of scarcity. It's a cleansing process, both spiritually and psychologically, freeing up space for new opportunities, wealth, and good fortune to enter. 2. How debt and poverty relate to Buddhist karma. In Buddhist teachings, everything is connected through karma, the universal law of cause and effect. Poverty and debt are not merely financial states, they are symptoms of deeper karmic imbalances. Karma is not a form of punishment, but rather the natural consequence of actions, thoughts, and intentions. If you've been trapped in a cycle of financial struggle, it could be due to past karma, but it's also about the mindset and actions you carry forward into the present. Throwing away debt, both literally and symbolically, can be seen as an act of clearing away bad karma. In many ways, clinging to debt is like clinging to guilt, shame, or fear. By releasing it, flushing it away, so to speak, you are making room for better karma to come your way. This practice forces you to confront your relationship with money and material wealth and helps to realign your mindset with the principles of abundance. 3. The spiritual meaning of poverty in Buddhism. Buddhism does not equate poverty with failure. In fact, many Buddhist monks take vows of poverty as a means of living in harmony with spiritual principles. However, when we talk about poverty outside the monastic life, it is often a symbol of lack, not just of wealth, but of spiritual nourishment. Poverty, in this sense, becomes a mental state where scarcity dominates your thoughts, feelings, and actions. To break free from poverty, one must first break free from the mindset that accompanies it. Throwing poverty down the toilet in this Buddhist practice symbolizes the release of the mental chains that keep you tied to a scarcity mindset. It's about recognizing that abundance is not only your birthright, but also something you can attract once you let go of the limiting beliefs and energies that hold you back. 4. The role of bad luck and superstition in Buddhist philosophy. Bad luck, as we commonly understand it, is often tied to superstition and external forces beyond our control. However, from a Buddhist perspective, bad luck is often seen as the manifestation of internal imbalances. When our minds and spirits are not aligned with the flow of the universe, we invite negative energies into our lives, which then manifest as bad luck. The Buddhist approach to bad luck is about personal responsibility. It's about recognizing that the energy we put out into the world comes back to us. By throwing it down the toilet, we symbolically release the internal blockages, bad habits, or toxic emotions that invite misfortune. This act allows us to align more closely with positive, life-affirming energies that attract good fortune. 5. The psychological benefits of letting go. Beyond the spiritual implications, there are deep psychological benefits to performing a ritual like throwing it down the toilet. Acts thus as a cathartic release. Often we hold on to things, whether they are physical objects, emotional baggage, or financial debts, because we feel like letting go would mean defeat. However, clinging to these things only weighs us down further. Psychologically, this ritual allows us to physically and symbolically cleanse ourselves of negative emotions, shame, guilt, or regret. Once we flush away these emotions, we create space in our minds for growth, healing, and new opportunities. It's an empowering act of control over our lives, giving us the agency to take charge of our mental and emotional well-being. 6. The practice of minimalism in Buddhist teachings. One of the cornerstones of Buddhist philosophy is minimalism, the practice of living with less and detaching from materialism. This isn't to say that Buddhists advocate for poverty or deprivation, but rather they emphasize the importance of not being attached to material wealth. Wealth is seen as transient, and attachment to it can lead to suffering. When you throw away what no longer serves you, whether that's debt, poverty, or bad luck, you're embracing a form of spiritual minimalism. By releasing attachments to negative financial patterns and beliefs, you allow yourself to focus on what truly matters: spiritual growth, inner peace, and the wealth that comes from within. 7. Ritualistic cleansing, throwing it down the toilet. Now that we've understood the symbolism and deeper meanings behind the practice, let's talk about the actual ritual of throwing it down the toilet. In some Buddhist traditions, practitioners will write down things they wish to release: debt, negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, or fears onto a piece of paper. This paper is then discarded in the toilet as a symbolic act of flushing away these unwanted energies. While this might seem like a trivial action, the psychology behind rituals is powerful. The act of physically discarding something, watching it flush away, reinforces the mental and emotional decision to let it go. It's a way of turning intention into action, making the internal process of release visible and concrete. 8. The role of meditation and mindfulness in breaking free from debt and bad luck. In addition to the ritualistic act, Buddhist teachings emphasize the role of meditation and mindfulness in cultivating a life free from debt, poverty, and bad luck. Meditation is not just about sitting in silence. It's a practice that allows us to become aware of our thought patterns, emotional triggers, and deep-rooted beliefs. When it comes to finances and wealth, many of us operate on autopilot, influenced by societal beliefs about money, success, and failure. By meditating on these issues, we can bring awareness to our relationship with money and begin to rewire our mindset towards abundance. Mindfulness allows us to make better financial decisions, understand the flow of energy, including money, and align our actions with our highest intentions. 9. Throwing negative attachments away, a path to abundance. Once you've performed the act of throwing it down the toilet, it's important to adopt a mindset of abundance moving forward. The key to Buddhist teachings on wealth is that abundance flows when we are not attached to it. By letting go of the need to control or hoard wealth, we open ourselves up to the natural flow of prosperity. This doesn't mean ignoring your finances or being reckless with money. Instead, it means approaching wealth with a sense of detachment, recognizing that it is a tool, not a goal in itself. When you stop obsessing over debt, poverty, or bad luck, and focus instead on cultivating a mindset of growth, generosity, and openness, wealth will naturally flow into your life. 10. Conclusion. Embrace the power of release. In Buddhist philosophy, release is one of the most powerful tools we have to create change. Whether it's debt, poverty, or bad luck, these are often symptoms of something deeper that needs to be released. By symbolically throwing it down the toilet, you are taking the first step toward releasing the mental, emotional, and spiritual baggage that's holding you back. Remember, this ritual is not about the toilet itself, but about the act of release, letting go of what no longer serves you. By doing so, you make room for abundance, prosperity, and good fortune to enter your life. So next time you find yourself weighed down by financial burdens or negative energies, consider the power of letting go and watch how your life transforms. Conclusion. A new path to abundance. By embracing this simple yet profound act of throwing away what no longer serves you, you open yourself up to the wealth and good fortune that's been waiting for you. In the end, the Buddhist teachings remind us that true abundance comes not from clinging to material wealth, but from letting go of our attachments and aligning ourselves with the natural flow of the universe. When you free your mind, you free your life, and prosperity follows.